Is our guest here yet? Good afternoon, my villagers. I have exciting news today. You hear me, Rose?
I hear ya.
I tell you, not coming on with doom and gloom today. Have y'all been keeping up with the midterm election? Looking good, looking good. We black folks are showing up and showing out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you all know I've been quoting from our beloved ancestor who said, Brother Joe Madison, he always said, what you gonna do about it?
Yes.
That was always the question. What you gonna do about it? Well, we are doing something. Now, we don't have anything yet in the box, but it's looking good. It's looking promising.
Yes.
It is just midterm, though.
Yeah.
For those of you who, play chess, and I don't, but I'm going to use some of the moves on the chessboard I hear you all talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do know that there are two pieces, right? The white and the black chips. And what I hear is that the white piece moves first. Sounds familiar? Well, then, the black chip moves next.
Right.
That's where we are. Now, the black chip is moving, but don't think the white folks are, the white chip, the white chip is not preparing for a counter move.
Mm-hmm.
We know how the white folk checkmate last time around.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us can't admit that the election was stolen, but just common sense tells me that the man who is known for stealing everything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, why would he hesitate when he was staring jail right in the face?
Yes, absolutely.
So why would he not steal an election?
Right.
So even if we checkmate, we better watch out for the steal.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared. That means most of us got to come out. All of us got to come out. Not most of us. Take 10 additional people with you to the polling booth.
Absolutely.
Take your crew. Put your your checkers aside and pick up the chess players.
Yes.
Listen, we got a great show today. You all know this Brother Larry Ham. He's not right with us now.
Yes.
But he's the hardest working activist of our time. But I want to thank first my team here. I want to thank Sheila, the producer. And I want to thank Juanita, advisor. I want to thank my promo crew, Awa, Awahid, I always call him Awa, Halim, I mean to say, and Chastity.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I want to thank Tony for bringing these clippings in for us.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're never going to forget our engineer, Storm and Norman.
Storm and Norman.
Yep.
Big Norm.
And, of course, my co-host, I don't know what I'd do without her, Rose Moore. I want to thank all of them. But just let me remind you all about the projects I'm producing. I'm putting a booklet out. Matter of fact, it's already been done. I have a memoir and a documentary, all of which will be coming out very soon. But to keep track of what I'm doing, all I want you all to begin to do is go to my website, rubyshivers.com, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things in there, a lot of interesting things. You can order some of the books from there. But in the meantime, take note. Next month, the month of September, my podcast, Unapologetic Amateur, looking for experts in Africanism and the acronym for that is UALFIA. See, it's such a long title, so we want you to know that if you say UALFIA, that's the acronym for Unapologetic Amateur Looking for Experts in Africanism. Now, next month, we will be dedicating the whole month of September to our black sons who are living, growing, contributing, struggling, succeeding, and making their mark. You know, making their mark beneath the celestial sun. I'm trying to turn this phone off that I should have had off all along. Beneath the celestial sun, and to my unalive son, and by extension, all African sons.
Yes.
We are calling this month African Sons Born Beneath the Celestial Sun Month, which is the title of my memoir. I'm excited about it, both the memoir and the month given to the recognition of our sons. But so my guest for that particular entire month will be sons from my village. But after which, we're going to keep this on going. I will invite African sons from every village.
Yes.
So I'll invite all of you all to keep watch out and join us and just stay tuned because we got some interesting things in store for you.
Yes.
But now I was in the position, we thought we were going to have our guest on, but he's such a busy activist that he's doing, running a little late.
Yeah.
So Rose and I, we're going to wait for him patiently because he always has some news that we need.
Yes.
He's always working out.
Yes, keep us informed of what's going on.
Yeah.
The struggle and what's going on. And
exactly.
What's being done.
So in the meantime, and in between time, we're going to just keep you all informed with what we are doing here at the podcast here. As I said, I just finished 3 projects. Well, I think we have our guest here now, and I'm excited about it.
Yes.
Our brother Larry Ham.
Yes, the man
of all men, I tell
the
you.
Man, Larry
but
Ham.
Rose is going to bring our guest on, and he's going to tell us what he's up to. One of the African sons who just stay busy all the time.
All
the
the
busiest brother I know.
Yes.
And like most of our sons I'm writing about, just haven't been truly recognized.
Yes.
And that's what that month of September is all about. We're just going to dedicate that whole month to our African sons, those who are still alive, and my son, that the one that I'm writing the memoir, my unalive son, it is dedicated to him by extension, but by extension, all African sons. So you all just keep your eye open, your ears abreast of what we are trying to do here at the podcast. Right now, we are waiting patiently and eagerly and anxiously for our guest. You all know him. He's a businessman. I know he's just all the time doing something. I know he has a whole lot to tell us. So, Rose, bring him on.
He needs no introduction. Whenever I'm talking about all the things that melanated people are going through, and I mention the struggle, the power, the movement, and who's has 10 toes on the ground, your name is always in the forefront. So we thank you, and I'm honored, and we're always honored to hear you. So without further ado, you need no introduction. We want to hear everything you have to say, so go ahead.
Y'all are too kind.
Oh, no.
Sister Ruby and Sister Rose.
It's real.
I was struggling for a minute. I'm out in these streets, as they say right now,
Yes.
working on our bus trip. You know, we're going to Washington on Saturday.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
To the March on Washington to defend the vote,
Yes.
which is sponsored by the National Action Network and other civil rights organizations
Yes.
and People's Organization for Progress. We support this march. So we have a bus going too. And so I thought I was going to be back at my station in time for our program today. But the business I had downtown took longer than expected and is still unresolved, fundamentally unresolved. And the thing I was working on, people think a bus trip, you just get a bus and go, but
Right.
there are a lot of things that are
Yes,
involved,
I assume so. Yeah.
and one of the things is if people come to get on the bus, they need somewhere to park their cars,
Oh wow. Yeah.
and that's what I'm working on right now, and it's more challenging than it has been in the past. One of the reasons is because the buses are more expensive since
Oh, wow.
Trump started this stupid war in Iran and drove and doubled the cost of gas and
Yeah.
almost tripled the cost of diesel. If you
Mm-hmm.
notice, when you see those gas stations that have those lit up signs that list the prices,
Right.
they'll have the cash price, the credit price, and then a price for diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And diesel is always higher.
Yeah.
And it's the diesel fuel that the buses run on
Right.
when we go on these bus trips. And so the price of diesel has doubled,
Oh my
and
God.
that has
Oh.
caused the price of renting a bus to go to Washington to almost double.
Right.
Wow.
And POP, we don't have any rich sponsors,
Mm-hmm.
so we have to do this bus out of our own resources,
Okay.
and that's good. We should be self-reliant, but at the same time it's a challenge because it makes everything so expensive. And
Right.
so now these parking places, they know we want to go to Washington, so they're jacking up their prices.
Always.
Oh,
Everybody's
Always.
wow.
jacking up their price,
Always.
you know.
Devil's always busy.
So it may take me another a day or two. I know I'm going to work it out. It's going to be
Oh,
one
you
way or the
always
other.
do. Always
It's going to
do.
be
Find a place.
worked out
Yeah.
because we need to be in Washington, and we need to be speaking out about what's happening to black people in this country.
Yeah.
We are too quiet,
Too quiet.
Yeah.
but considering all that is happening to
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
and it always reminds me. Did y'all see that movie 12 Years a Slave?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely, right.
Yeah.
You remember that scene where Solomon was being punished
Yes.
and they hung him
Yes.
by his neck. They
Yes.
didn't kill him.
No, they didn't kill
They
him. That
hung
was
him
worse.
by his neck as a punishment, and they had his feet on a box. He was literally on his tippy toes.
Yes.
And if his feet had slipped off that box, he would have been hung.
Gone.
And
Right.
it's very interesting because initially, the slave community, his community, the enslaved people that he was living with, they were concerned, and you could see the concern on their sadness on their faces. And some of the women were sneaking to bring him water, when the master wasn't looking, and so on. And at first they were kind of in a crisis mode because this had happened to Samuel. But then you see as time progressed,
Yes.
things turn back to normal.
Yes.
In fact, in that scene, at one point, there are even little children playing
Yeah.
within feet of where
Yes.
he's
Where he was
hanging.
being
Yeah.
hung.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was their
And that is
favorite pastime. Mm-hmm.
that's right. And that is a metaphor for what we face today, how in the midst of probably the worst crisis since the civil rights era,
Mm-hmm.
we are existing in a kind of semi-normal environment.
Right.
Like we are sleepwalking.
Mm-hmm.
Black people are being attacked on all
Yes.
levels.
On
We're
all
being
levels.
attacked politically.
Yes.
We're being attacked economically.
Yes.
We're being attacked socially, and we're
Physically.
being attacked physically.
Physically.
Yes.
Physically. Our
Yes.
boys are
We're
being hung
even
out. We are
in the
being hung.
in the
Hanged.
21st century.
Yes.
We're even being lynched.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yes.
see all these black people they're finding
Yes.
hanging
Yes.
from trees,
Mhm.
trying to say it's suicide.
Yes.
It's nothing but 21st century lynching
Yes.
that's
Yes.
going on.
Yes.
And with everything, you see the numbers of black people that have lost their jobs
Oh, my word.
Yes.
just in the last 18 months.
Yes.
Nearly 700,000 black people have lost their jobs, and between 350,000 and 450,000 of them are women.
Yeah.
you know, because of what? Because of Trump's government cuts. So many of our people work in government,
Yeah.
you know, work in the federal government.
Yes.
His attack on DEI, when Trump came down with his executive order on DEI, not only did the federal government, but private companies summarily
Yeah.
fired black people. Like,
Absolutely.
just like that.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the order, you know, like if you didn't know you in a DEI program,
Mm-hmm.
you found out,
Yeah.
That's
you
right.
know,
Right.
at that minute. And I actually met some people. I met some college employees that work for colleges in the area who showed me the letters
Mm-hmm.
that they got from the federal government saying that they had to get out of town by sundown.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wow.
I'm speaking metaphorically here,
Right.
but
Metaphorically,
Right.
but that's
you
for
Right.
real.
understand.
No,
Right.
that's
You
that
understand what I'm
metaphor is
saying?
very
The
real with
impact is the
us.
same.
Impact is the
Right, with
same.
no recourse
Right.
for appeal. So people just think this is happening with the vote. It's not just about the vote. It's fundamentally about economics,
Yes.
Yeah.
because those 600,000 black people, those 400,000 black women that have lost their jobs, what are going to be the ripple effects from
Yeah.
that?
Right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
That's
have
right.
income, you
Right.
can't pay rent.
Your
It's going to
families.
cause an
Yes.
increase in foreclosures,
Yes.
home foreclosures.
Yes.
It's going to cause an increase in evictions. It's
Right.
going to cause families to split up.
Yes.
You know, those economic pressures
Right.
can
Yeah.
break up our families,
Yeah.
Right.
especially
And they
when
know
there's
it
only,
too.
and they know it too, especially
Right.
when many of the families may only have one breadwinner or are dependent on
That's
one
right.
breadwinner.
That's right.
You know, so people don't really, they think it's just a job. No, it's 1,000 things past a job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
even our psychological
There
health.
you
Right.
go.
You
There you
know,
go.
you can just look around the community and see the effects of mental illness in
That's
our
right.
in our community. I could stand on Broad and Market. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you
Well,
hear me?
I can hear you
Yes.
Okay.
clear,
Yeah,
loud and
Yes.
clear. Mm-hmm.
because a call is trying to come
And
through, but
I've
I'm not going
drove
to
through
answer it.
Broad and Market. I know
No,
what you're
we can
That's
saying.
hear
right.
you loud and clear, and you're
That's right.
absolutely right.
So we stand on Broad Market and we do voter registration every Saturday. And we can just see the mental health of our people. And it's not just the people who are acting out. You can also see it on the faces of people who may initially appear normal, but you can see,
You can
you
see
can
it.
literally see that stress on people's faces.
Yeah, because
You know,
that's right.
and when you go to the supermarket and the prices, I remember I used to go shopping for my mother. There used to be a supermarket chain called Good Deal. Y'all remember Good
I
Yes,
Deal?
of
remember.
course I
Yeah,
do.
You remember
definitely.
Good Deal?
Yeah.
I used to go shopping for my mother at Good Deal. There used to be a Good Deal
On First
on the
Street.
corner of Springfield Avenue and 11th Street
Okay.
in Newark.
In Newark.
And I lived up on 12th, and I would walk over to the Good Deal with $50. I could fill up a whole shopping
Cart.
cart.
Yeah.
And in those days, they would let you push the shopping cart home as long as you promised to bring it back. I would have a shopping cart full of food for $50.
Man, I remember
Man,
Good
you
Deal.
can barely get a bag full
That's
of
right.
food for $50
That's
now.
absolutely right.
You know, a box of cereal is $7 and $8. It's crazy
Yes.
what's going on. But there's this veneer, there's this patina of normalcy. You know, America's very good at hiding the suffering, you know.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, with the attacks that are going on our people, the amount of racial violence, the
Yes.
literal attacks that are
Yes.
happening
The
on
violence.
black people, and then combine that with the police brutality,
Yes.
you know, and combine that with the budget cuts. They get ready. They have already cut off tens of thousands of people from their SNAP benefits. SNAP is what we call food stamps, right? So now people are not going to have, you know, their food. People are not going to have their food stamps.
Right.
And so that's going to cause nutrition. So I just say all that to say, I know I'm just running
Speak on
talking.
it.
No,
No,
speak
you're
on
not.
it. Let us
That
hear
You
it.
hey,
know,
We
I'll
need
tell
to
you in a
hear it.
minute.
I know it's my frustration coming out.
Yeah.
We all
All
should
of
be
us, we
frustrated.
share. We
But
share that.
but what I'm saying is whether you are going to Washington or not, whether you uh uh think think that something should be done or not, the point is that we are too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Look at our Haitian brothers and sisters. They just ended temporary permanent status
Yes,
for
yes.
400,000 Haitians.
Right. Mm-hmm.
These
Mm-hmm.
people literally, and then on top of you know when we used to see the World War II movies, and we used to see how the Germans treated the Jews,
Mm.
and
Yes.
how they would make them wear them yellow stars.
Yeah.
Now they're making all the Haitian brothers and sisters that had TPS. They gotta wear ankle bracelets.
Oh my
Did
word.
you know this?
No,
They
I'm
gotta wear
just hearing
ankle
that.
I
bracelets.
didn't know
Mm.
that.
Mm-mm.
Yes, as long as they got to wear ankle bracelets. And on top of that, they're not even deporting a lot of them back to Haiti. They're deporting them to countries that they've never even been to.
Yeah, that's
Oh
just
my God.
evil.
They
Evil.
just had an announcement that countries in Africa have made a deal with the Trump administration to each take a portion of these Haitian refugees. You know, these people ain't never said they just like us. They ain't never seen Africa. So they're going. I'm not speaking against Africa, but you understand what I'm saying. If
Yeah.
you're going to
Right.
deport me,
Right.
send me back to the country I
Yeah,
came
I
from.
came
exactly.
from.
Don't
Right.
send me to a country that I have no ties with.
Well, anyone
We are
who would
living.
deport them wouldn't think that in that manner anyway. We asking them to
That's
think
right.
humanly. We asking them to think things beyond their thinking. They are
Right.
just
That's right.
inhuman, and that's what they're doing. They're doing it deliberately. Don't you know they know what we know? They know what you
They
know,
know
that you should
exactly
send them
what
back
they're
to their.
doing,
They know exactly.
and the whole point of what they're doing is pain, to inflict pain
Yeah,
and
Right.
suffering
Right.
on black people.
that's
Right.
how that's
Right.
That's what the
clear as
Right.
point
that.
of all of
Right.
this is.
Right. Right.
And a lot of our brothers and sisters are under the mistaken notion that somehow this is just affecting undocumented immigrants.
No.
Right.
They're all wrong. All of this, trust me when I tell you, all of this is a run up to what they really want to do with
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
When they start talking about birthright citizenship,
Yeah.
where
Right.
does that come from?
Right.
That comes from the 14th
Amendment.
Amendment,
Right.
adopted after the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
It made us citizens.
Right.
So when they undo birthright citizenship, that's not just going to affect undocumented immigrants. It can apply to anybody that the government wants to target. And I'm
Sure.
telling you, they want to target us. They want to make this a white
Right.
apartheid style
Right.
country like
Right.
South Africa.
Right.
And they're working
That's what's
very
going
hard and
on here.
diligently toward that end. They're working hard for that. And when I came
They're
on just
working
now, I
very
was
hard.
telling our people about, I'm just pleased with what's going on in mid-election, but don't get carried away. Don't get fooled. These
Right.
people know chess, and we still play. Yeah, they know chess. We still playing checkers. I'm not a chess player by no stretch of the imagination, but I was told that there's two type of pieces that you're looking at. That white piece
Right.
and the black. The white person the white piece comes on first, and then the black black one comes on. You know, and just because
Right.
we may look at this point in our history, the midterm election, that things are going a little pretty well, don't mean a thing. Because
Right.
they're coming back for the kill.
No, we have to
coming back
strike
from the kill.
hard.
Look, we may not even have an election.
Yeah.
You just said it.
We may not
We
even have
may
an
not
election.
have an
Right.
election.
Right. Right.
You know, you don't remember, they always have an October surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right?
That's
Right.
Going
right.
all the way
That's
back
right.
to Nixon.
That's
Right.
right.
They always have an October surprise.
Right.
I have actually had regular Democrats. I'm not talking about progressive Democrats, radical Democrats, left-wing people. I'm talking about people that work in support the Democratic Party. One of them, a white person, a white party official, came up to me a couple of months ago and said to me point blank, said, "Man, I don't know if we're going to have an election."
Yeah. Hey.
Now we all moving like we have an election, but at any minute Trump could decide to declare a state of emergency.
That's
Right,
right.
right.
And under state of emergency, he can cancel elections.
Uh-huh.
Remember what happened after 9/11?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They canceled the election in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
They postponed that election was supposed to take place, I think in the primary is supposed to be in September, and the election election. This was a city election. They moved that whole thing to the following year.
Mm-hmm.
Under under martial law, they can cancel elections,
And then
postpone
think
elections.
about it. Why wouldn't he? He's
Right.
the
Right.
crookedest, cruelest man in the
Right.
world. So why
Yes.
would he neglect to do if that helps him?
Right.
What make us
If it
think that
helps
he
him,
wouldn't
Right.
do?
Right.
they gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah.
If he thinks he can get away with it, he's gonna do it.
Right.
And I just we having this bus trip on Friday, but you know what else? On that same Friday, we got something for the people who are not going to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
See, some people think, oh, I'm not going to Washington, so I'm not going to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're going to Washington, but our chapter in Central Jersey is organizing a rally on the steps of the Somerset municipal building in Somerset, New Jersey at 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
on the evening of the 28th. So whether you're going to DC or not going,
I'm there.
there's still
Yes,
something to
there.
do.
I'll be there.
There's still
Exactly.
something to do. And then on September 11th,
Mm-hmm.
11th, 9/11, we are having a rally at New Hope. Well, we're not calling it a rally. We're having a forum
Mm-hmm.
at New Hope Baptist Church in East Orange, 144 Norman Street in East Orange. And the title of that forum is The Attack on Voting Rights and the War on Black People.
Mm-hmm.
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 And this is the sixth. We've had 5 of these forums already
Mm-hmm.
at churches and at libraries, and we'll have them at anywhere we can get a, space to have them. We have one on October 11th at New Hope in East Orange, then on September 23rd at Mount Zion AME
Mm-hmm.
in Riverton, New Jersey. Y'all know where Riverton is?
I've not
No.
heard of
That's
that
down
before.
in Burlington County, down South
Okay.
Jersey.
Okay. I know
Oh.
where that is.
Right. Then we coming back on the 9th. We're going to have a program. We're going to have this same forum at Bethany Baptist Church in Newark.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 27th, we're going to do it at the Roselle Library
Oh, okay.
in Roselle, New Jersey. The
Okay.
same forum, the attack on voting rights and the war on black people, because we think this is a discussion that needs to be held all around the state of
Oh,
New
it does.
Jersey.
All around
So
the country, as a matter of fact.
all around the country, and because to be truthful, I'm trying to rile the people up. I know
Yeah.
some people don't want to be riled up, but I'm
Well,
telling
that's
It's
you,
because
gonna.
they
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
have to. We have
Yeah,
to.
you don't
There's no
know.
more time.
I'm
We
try-
have to.
I'm trying to rile the people up. This is a
Yeah.
call to arms, a
It
call to
is.
action.
Yes.
Yes, we need to vote in November, but once we get going in November, we
Yes.
need to keep going after Election Day.
That's right.
Right.
Because this thing is ongoing, man. These
Right.
people want to take us back to slavery.
Right.
Some
And they are
people been saying,
and they are doing a good job at doing that. I tell you, one of the things that I'm doing, Brother Larry, is like a documentary I have coming out, and you just brought that point. With my first, it's a 3-part. The first part I'm talking about is the elders, how we need to maintain our elders, because unlike other elders, don't make the comparison. African American elders are unlike any other because they have the lived experience, they have the knowledge,
That's
the
right.
historical knowledge
That's right.
to maintain us. Because a lot of our young people just flabbergasted. They are shocked at what they are seeing, and they don't know it's been there, been done before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're just going back,
Right.
and that's what they're trying to get us back to, where some of us know where we came from.
Right.
And that's
That's right.
that's the part. So one of the things we got to instill in our young people, although we need them desperately because they got these new ideas and new ways of doing things.
Right.
But if you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what happened to you before, you can start making mistakes, unnecessary mistakes, based
Right.
on what
That's right.
if you
You're
don't
not
know,
informed. Right.
right, not informed. So you are
That's right.
absolutely right about that.
That's right. Because technology, it can be a help or it can be a trap.
Yes.
if you don't
Yes.
know
Well,
Right.
they
where you go.
weaponized
You
it.
don't know who you are and
Right.
where
Right.
you going.
Right.
You
Exactly.
got to know who you are,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
where you came from, and
Right.
where you going.
Right.
If
Exactly.
you don't know those three things, you in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this technology is it can be and is being used
Right. It's
Mm-hmm.
to
weaponized
really
against.
enslave us
That's
in
right.
a new way.
In a
That's
new way.
right.
It's
Mm-hmm.
slavery. And, the other day I was watching, they talk about AI. I remember when they first started talking about AI some years ago and,
Right.
what it was going to be like. It was going to be so wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I remember when I was a little kid, you remember what did they call it? The World's Fair? You
Yeah.
remember the
Of
The
course.
World's
World's
Of
Fair.
Fair?
course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In 1960, what was it, 64, I think. It was the 1964 World's Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I went and used to go in these on these rides and in these pavilions that would show you the
Yes.
world of the
The
future.
Right.
word
And
right. Right.
it was going to be so
The
wonderful.
world to
And
come. Yeah.
now we're here. We're past actually the years that they were saying the future. The
Right.
future for them was like 1980 something, right? Now, here we are in the 21st century, 2026, and racism is as bad now
As it
as
ever
it
been.
was
As
in
it ever
As it
been.
ever been.
1964.
And
Yes.
they're
It's
Yes.
as
out front.
bad as it's ever been.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we still struggling, and here's the irony. At the point that we should be strongest and the most united, we're weakest and disunited.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the shame of it,
Mm-hmm.
right now, because
But now,
no
just to stop
no
you
other
there,
group would say again.
I'm sorry. No, go on. I'm just going to stop you there and say,
I,
but the question is why?
that's right. Well, I think one of the reasons why is because of the mass media, the social media,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
education system.
Right.
It creates within us a false consciousness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a false consciousness. The way we are perceiving the world is on falsehoods and
Right.
not based on reality.
Reality.
Then
That's
in that
right.
You know,
case, what do we do? See, what my podcast is all around the whole thing of restoration. We have
that's right.
diagnosis. We've got diagnosis from a lot of great people of what ails us, what's wrong with us. But I say slavery was not just a crime. It was a crime, but it was also
Yes.
an injury. And if we've been injured over the time, and
Yes.
I make the analogies of other injuries, where there's cancer, where there's heart disease. We got specialists to tend to those things. What we
Right.
need in our communities, Africans across the diaspora and on the continent, all over the world,
Hmm.
we need to be seen as injured people who have never been treated. And it's not our fault. We can never point our fingers at each other. As much as I want to slam bam this old Clarence Thomas and the rest of them, I know that they wouldn't be there. If you knew better, you'd do better. And they
Right.
have been just what you just said. We've been brainwashed in a lot of different ways that we
Yep.
think reality is what they say it is, and it's really not. The
That's right.
reality is what prior to 400 years ago when we built pyramids and stuff, when we created, cures for cancer. So what happened between that short period of time means that something had to come upon us.
Right.
If it came
Yes.
upon us, we should treat it the same as any other injury. We
Right.
should
That's
know
right.
that we need tending to treat it, restoration to who we were. But
That's right.
we got to start understanding it from that perspective. Then
That's
we
right.
know we got to do something about it.
The false
That's right.
conditioning. Too many of
We
us,
need-
we have false conditioning. And we, like you
Right.
said, we don't have the reality because of all the negative forces that they send out here on social media and
Yes.
other medias, because the enemy controls it. And because
That's
the
right.
adversary and his money controls it, we are being fed a false narrative. And that's
That's
why
right.
we have to unify and to teach our people who they are, and more importantly, what they're up against. Because we
That's right.
can't use the same tools and weapons that we used in the past. That don't work because we have AI and we have technology now that is working against us, and we have to get
That's
on
right.
board and use those same things against them because we have it within us. We have the power, we have the intellect, we have everything they have and more.
Oh, we please.
Because
We
they stole it
surpassed them
from us
50
to
times
begin
over.
with. And we need
Exactly.
to understand that and take it back.
And they
That's right.
understand
I
clearly until
agree.
we get to the point where we understand our situation, put it in the same category as any other injury, which
That's right.
requires treatment. We are not going to ever concede that we need it. And I guess what we need when I'm preaching here for my podcast, I learned to try to instill upon people. Maybe look at it this way: look at what we have instead of what we lost. Because when they look at what we lost, then they'll start denying that we lost anything. A lot of our people don't want to, and that's normal. If you're not treated, you
Right.
do it. That we lost. But it's not about so much what we lost, it's what we still have. And guess what? Had we not been interrupted, what would we be? We would still be building pyramids if we weren't
That's right.
interrupted. So we should see it
That's
that
right.
way and understand that we do need tending to. We need treatment because we
Yeah.
wouldn't have the Clarence Thomas around the world. We wouldn't have the
That's
Candace
right.
Owens around the world. We would even some of
That's
our
right.
well-meaning people. I often make the point about our president, whom I love dearly. Most of us love President Obama. But President Obama was not an expert in African knowledge, and I use that word to put a name to it. Because
Right.
what happened, a lot of our young black men was a little bit offended when he seemed to have implied that they were not living up to what they should, and it was their
Right.
fault. He didn't mean
I
any
remember
harm.
that.
You remember that?
Right,
He
right.
did not mean any harm,
He
but
didn't
it's
have a full
because he didn't have a full understanding. He may have been
He
a
spoke
Harvard.
at Howard University.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a Harvard graduate.
Mhm.
The president of the
Right.
United States doesn't mean he has the capacity to understand what we went through
Right.
as African people to apply
Right.
it to why we think in the way we do,
That's
why we
right.
act the way we
That's
do,
right.
why we are not in control of ourselves. And I don't want to take your time, brother, but
No, we
you
don't.
just
But we
No,
want
you
to
go ahead
get
and
that
say
out there.
because I'm agreeing with you 100%.
And we need more of
We
our
need
elders.
restoration and we need
Right.
reparation.
Right,
And more
exactly.
of our elders. I want to, make a point of that. I'm even going to, now that I'm doing social justice, and we're trying to bring it into the church now more so because we need more people to understand the impact of social justice when we are edified, educated, prepared, and willing to take our rightful place, to take back what is ours, and to equip those that are coming behind us because they got to carry on this fight. Somehow there
That's
was a
right.
disconnect. And we have to unify.
not somehow purposely disconnect us.
But
That's what we have to
gotta
understand.
connect that bridge back.
Now
and
he mentioned
elders have to come in.
reparation. He mentioned reparation. Had we had reparation, we would need all that DEI,
Yeah, we dropped the ball
affirmative
for the
action,
little bit of
and we
trinkets that
didn't
they
drop
gave
the
us.
ball. But it's part of how we've been conditioned. All of this
Right.
is about conditioning.
Right.
How
We,
we've
we
been
didn't we
conditioned.
didn't drop the ball. We've been at war.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah,
at
we've been
war.
at
We
war.
didn't drop the war ball. We've been at war.
Been at war.
Let me tell you, nothing happens by accident.
This is true.
At least not policy
This
wise.
Right.
is true.
All these big problems that we are facing today are the direct result of actions taken by human beings. And
Exactly.
these
Right.
human
Right.
beings
Right.
have been at war with us since we got here.
Yes, I understand.
And it's just been different phases of the war.
Yes.
We're in, for the most part, a low intensity war, but it's even as I said, the attacks have been physical. You wouldn't know it from listening to the media, but the biggest victims of racial violence in America are still black people.
That's right.
Sure it is.
As
I mean,
always.
you hear about these attacks on other people,
No,
and that's
no.
wrong. Nobody should be attacked
Right.
because
Right,
of their race or
right,
their
right.
ethnicity. But when you look at the statistics and the reports, at the top of the list
It's always
is
us.
black people.
Oh, I didn't
We're
know there was
still
a
the
question
big-
about that. You mean there's a
Yes.
question that we are not the most victimized?
Yes.
I didn't
The
know it was a question.
some people don't even know it's a problem. Some people think they see one event and they think it's a one off.
Right.
They think, oh, it's just that person that
Right.
happened to,
Right.
or just
Right. Right.
this person. There are tens of thousands of incidents of racial and
Right.
bias related violence
Right.
that take place
Right.
in the United States,
That's right.
even though we see more of it on social media because we didn't have social media
Before.
before, right?
That's right.
We
We
have
didn't
it
have it
now.
before.
But even what we see on social media is only a fraction
Mm-hmm.
of the actual number of incidents that are
Yeah.
happening. And they're different degrees of it. There's the physical assault, there are verbal
Yeah.
assaults, there's a psychological assault.
That's
Mm-hmm.
They're
right.
all different kinds of ways that
That's right.
that we are being assaulted.
Right.
And it's a social problem. It's not
Yeah.
an individual problem.
Right.
No.
It's a
Absolutely.
social
And a
problem.
spiritual problem because we are
And
definitely
it is spiritual.
this
Yes,
is
it is spiritual.
And
definitely
you just
spiritual.
right.
But let me just say
Mm-hmm.
that this is a spiritual attack. Definitely, the forces have mounted. Like you said, they're coming from all directions now. And the only reason I mentioned that is because I was thinking about, like you were saying, Joe Madison said, "What you're going to do about it?" And we need to teach the people that, like, what was it? Who said it? Einstein. We cannot overcome problems that we are having today that are so tenacious on the same level that they were created. We have to
Right.
rise above that. We have to become more tenacious. We have to come together with strategic plans, and we
Yes.
have to execute them with a force.
That's
And
right.
really, even the churches, everybody, we got to be in this together because we are being attacked as one. People of
That's
melanated
right.
people, as long as you're melanated, this is you and yours. And after they finish with us, they're going for our children. So,
No,
That's
they're
right.
doing that
They're
simultaneously.
going for it.
That-
They're going after the kids
oh, they're
now.
going after the
Look
kids
at
as
the
we
difference in
speak.
the music
yes,
between when we were
that's why I say
coming
it's
up and
demonic.
the
It's
music
demonic.
of the last 30 years.
Absolutely.
Most of
Absolutely.
this music is not uplifting. It's
That's
No,
right.
degrading.
no.
That's
It,
right.
it's the word. I wouldn't let my children when they was to listen to that kind of music and that if they listened to it, they weren't in the house,
That's
Right.
weren't
right.
in my house.
Right.
That's
You
right.
know, I
Right.
mean, when we were coming up, we had Curtis Mayfield,
Yeah,
uh,
positive stuff.
singing "Moving On
Oh,
Up" and
yes.
"Keep On Pushing" and "We're a
Yes.
Winner."
Yes.
The
Say it
music
loud,
was
I'm black and I'm
positive.
proud. That's right.
Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Even the music that didn't have a explicitly political message,
Right.
it was about us loving on each other. I
Yeah.
That's
remember
right.
Marvin Gaye
I
and
was getting
Tammy
ready to say
Terrell
Marvin Gaye. What's
sang
going
that
on?
song, I ain't got time
For
Right.
to
yes,
think about money
yes,
or
yes.
what it can buy, because I'm too busy thinking about
Yeah.
my
My
baby.
baby.
Right,
And
right.
I
But you know
ain't
what?
gonna
Those
think
days are
about nothing
gone.
else.
Those days are gone.
and
But
though,
we
and
can.
that is typical black man. Let me tell you, I'm doing a documentary, not a documentary, the memoir I'm doing about our black sons. I'm bringing all of that out, how we have missed the mark in defending who they really are.
Right,
You know,
right.
because they're not who this society have portrayed them to be. That's what we were about. And
Right,
when we came
right.
into this other line of music, or whatever, if you want to call it music, that was strictly for the money. You know, and we understand that too, because
Yeah.
who would not want money, and particularly young people. So
Right.
we never can blame ourselves too much for anything. And that's not to say that we shouldn't attack it from that perspective,
right,
but
right,
we
right.
can't really blame ourselves.
Right. Well, we're beyond what's going. What did Marvin say? What's going on?
That what's going
We
on,
so
right?
beyond
Well, that was
because
political.
we know
What's going on was
That was
political now.
Yeah,
that
but
was
it
one of
opened
the
our
most political
eyes.
albums ever
That's
made.
right.
Yes,
Him
it
and
was.
Stevie
And Barry
Wonder.
Gordy didn't even want to release the album.
Yeah,
Exactly.
He didn't think
yeah.
it was going to sell.
Because of the
Right.
backlash.
And it's still selling.
That's
Still
right.
50
selling.
years,
That's right.
55
That's
years
right.
later,
Still
it's still
selling.
selling.
It
That's
sure
right.
is.
Tell it like it. TELL is.
That's right.
We're
That's
going to
right.
stop for 1 second. And Norm, I want to bring up my villagers. I just want to recognize them for a minute, if
Yes.
you will, see who's watching and see who's listening. Because that's what this podcast is about. It said we will not perish for lack of knowledge. We're going to
That's
bring the
right.
knowledge here. You know, anytime
That's
we bring
right.
our brother Larry
That's right.
Ham on,
Love Larry Holmes.
Larry Ham,
Larry
he's
Ham,
going to bring
I'm
the
sorry, I'm sorry.
Robert Cabbage Dog, Rashida,
love
Sheila,
Larry Ham.
Anita Linster. We are back. Okay, Sharon,
Yes.
I'm so glad to see all of you. Just keep us in. Look, hit to get to my website. I just learned that you go rubyshivers.com, and what we're going to be doing, I'm going to tell you this quickly again. I have a documentary coming out, and you all know my documentary, a 3-part, talks about the elders and how the necessity, not because I'm an elder, but the necessity of having our African elders at our side, because, see, unlike other elders who kind of roll around organically or move on organically, we don't do that. We have lived experiences. We have historical knowledge. We have all that to help the young folks who are
Got a
out.
job to do,
Yeah.
a mission.
So that's the first thing. Second thing about my documentary is going to be I'm trying to develop a new lexicon. Not develop a new lexicon. We already have the language. I don't want to erase anything, but what we need to create something that will better explain our lived experiences. Because, see, when we use words like hate, for instance, if we're talking about hate, doesn't mean the same thing for us that it means for other group. Hate, if you're going to suppress me, that's hateful. If I'm trying to get out from under it, how is that hateful? You know, so I'm trying to develop a whole new lexicon, so when we're talking amongst ourselves, we'll know the difference in using one against the other. The third thing
Right.
is, and the most important thing is restoration. That's what my whole thing is about.
Restoration.
We've got to
The mission.
restore. We
Right.
already have the diagnosis, and which is great. But somehow, just like the oncologist, just like the cardiologist, just like all the other injured phenomena, we got to name it to claim it. And once we name it, then we got to get those people, like our brother here. He's expert in whatever he's expert in. You know what I'm saying? I'm an unapologetic amateur looking for experts. I'll make no bones about it.
Right.
I'm an expert in living black because I live black every day. But I'm not
There
an
you go.
expert in black living. Black living entails a whole nother set of words,
Yes.
my mama would say.
Comprehensive.
Comprehensive in your African history. If it's spiritual, we know we need the spiritual people because that's who we are. We are very spiritual people.
Absolutely.
But we need people who know us, the Africanism of us.
Right.
We need psychologists. We need folks
Professionals,
who can
yeah.
delve in between why
Experts.
we are doing what we're doing and how we're doing it, what happened when
Yes.
we're doing it.
Yes.
And we need the historians, those who are deep and steep in our history, not just someone who just kind of knew it arbitrarily,
Right, right.
but know it.
Not
so
a
we
novice.
need not a novice. You can't pick up anybody to get to what we need. You know, when we need those people to get together under an umbrella, like an oncologist. You don't have separate oncologists doing separate. They come together for study how to cure the cancer. We need those folks to come together at some point to get together, create university, create whatever they need to study what happened to us. Now, another thing, my last thing, we would not need all this other stuff. One of the most important things we should go for now is reparation. If we had
There you go.
reparation, we wouldn't need all that other mess that they claim that they give us, which the white woman benefit more than anybody else under
Right.
any of those
Right.
programs. But we
Statistically,
would
yeah.
not need to even be considered because we'll have what we need.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
That's right.
Right. Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We need restoration and we need reparation.
Right,
That's
right.
And we need
Exactly.
to get serious about our reparation.
And
because
restoration.
That's
They
right.
get serious
They
about
paying
both.
people that say they're Indians, but hey, we're indigenous to this country too,
Yeah.
even though they tried to hide it.
Yeah. Well, they need
We
to
need
do-
reparations.
Yeah, reparation. No question about it.
Show me the money. I ain't trying.
And it's not necessarily. This is my opinion. It not necessarily have to be into what we would call money. You know, if you think about the history of these folks in this country, white folks, when they was creating things like what the housing that they did right out of World War I or II, and they created all these houses for
The
the white
projects
folks,
and all
not
that,
project, the other ones.
they
What they
called?
call it? Where those folks lived out in the suburbs. The suburbs.
Oh, the suburbs.
Create suburbs.
Okay.
Then at the same time, they was giving free education to white folks at that time
Right,
until we
right,
came
right.
in, and then they start limiting the free education. But up to that point, when those folks was starting this place, they got it from these handouts, as they call
Right.
them.
They did still getting them.
So they're still getting them, and we have to understand that we deserve and we are entitled, or we're more entitled to any kind of reparation anyone else has ever gotten. But
That's right.
until we focus on that and be concerned and serious about that,
We have to.
we're gonna always be
Because
coming
the
around with our
jig is
hands out.
up.
It's
So
up.
because the
And
jig
the
is
jig is up.
Hey, I'll tell you in a minute, the jig is up.
It
It is
is.
pay up time. All them
Now,
all
Brother Larry, what do
stuff
you got
no
on your
more.
agenda
It's
now,
done.
aside from the bus ride? I know I see you on Facebook all the time. You're all doing things in Newark there, always. I would be wanting to join
Right.
you, but I'm still a young lady, so some places I can't venture
Well,
out after dark.
you're in Elizabeth, right? You're in the
No, I'm
Union County.
in Union County, but Plainfield.
You're in Plainfield, because we need to have this forum down there, the attack on voting rights and the war on black people. We had one in Plainfield at the library, but the day we had it was that terrible storm.
Oh, yeah.
That was in
Yeah.
July. You remember?
Yes.
It was a
Yes,
terrible,
of
terrible
course.
storm we had, and
Of
so
course.
that kept people from coming out. So we need to come back, and I think my experience has shown that when we do it at the church, at a church, there's a tendency to get more people out.
Okay.
Right.
You know, like some people come to a library, but more people will come
Will
to
come
it.
to the
More
church.
black people, I'm
Right,
saying,
right.
Right.
will come to a church. You
Right,
know,
right.
and if y'all know of a church down there in Plainfield that we could go to and do this, because we have them set forth through October. We need to do one in November after the election. That would be a good time, because we need to reorient ourselves after we find out, if we have an election, what
Right.
the outcome of that election is. So if you all can look around and find us a church, we'll come down there, to Plainfield or one of those other towns in Union County, Elizabeth, Hillside, Plainfield, North Plainfield, Somerset.
Well,
is
you got
black.
First Baptist in Somerset. You can look into that.
First
I'm
Baptist,
certainly going to
yeah.
ask, because they're getting into social justice now. So I'm certainly
Well,
going to
Well,
ask.
you're very
please-
familiar with the pastor there at Mount Teman. How do you all go there?
Oh yes, Reverend Britt.
Well, Britt, he
Absolutely,
very
yes.
How about
If we
Shiloh
could,
in Plainfield? Shiloh. You know Shiloh?
don't know
I
Shiloh,
don't.
but
How about
I'll go to Shiloh. I'll go
Ruth
to
Fellowship? I
Shiloh.
know the pastor there.
Yeah.
Ruth Fellowship, Pastor Brown, Tracy Brown.
Tracy
Yes,
Brown.
yes. Well, let's do something down there
Hit the
in
mayor up. Hit up
Union
Mayor
County.
Map. Mayor
Mayor Mapp.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Mayor
know Mayor Mapp.
Tell him what you need. Tell him what we need, because there's a
And-
green.
and-
Isn't there a green
and-
there on Front Street? A big green.
Probably. I'm
Yeah.
not really
There's
sure.
a big green. You know, I raised my kids in Plainfield, so I'm very familiar. And Mayor Maps has been here. This is his 4th term.
Yeah.
And
4 term. Oh
Right.
wow, I didn't
That's
know
what
you've
I'm
been there
saying.
that long.
Oh, he's
yeah,
been
this
there.
is his
Wow.
4th term. So hit him up. Hit him up and tell him this is what is needed to be done.
So
for
I
the
have
people.
one question for you. Larry, if we get if that comes about in November and there's no election, what will we do? What are we prepared to do? Or is there anything we can do?
If they cancel elections, we need to go into the streets. Now I'm not saying there need to be violence. That's not what
No,
I'm
that's
saying.
not what they go after. Violence. We don't have to have a
I'm
violent
saying
moment in
that
us.
we need another million-man march. Except we don't
Right.
need to go to Washington. We could do, every state need to have their own million-man march.
Right.
Or million people's march, because
Yeah.
it don't just
Right.
need to be men.
Right.
The people have to come. There has to be a mass eruption in this country if they cancel the election, because we know that there's no real reason to cancel election other than they want to steal the election.
Right.
That's
right,
why they want
right,
to cancel
Well, yeah,
it,
we
because
know
they
that.
want to stay in power.
Right.
They want to stay in
right,
power.
Right. Right.
They want to establish a dictatorship.
Oh,
Right.
definitely.
You
That's
know,
the
Exactly.
aim. That
Exactly.
is the aim.
and that's real. That's not an
Right.
exaggeration.
No, not a
Right.
They're
little bit.
trying
Absolutely.
to establish it right now.
Sure,
Absolutely.
sure. And
Absolutely.
if you're
I mean, there
asking
was
me,
no vote by
my
there was no
definition of a
vote by
def.
Congress to go to war in Iran.
Right,
Absolutely.
right,
That
right.
Trump made that decision.
He's been doing
And
all
the
of this.
Constitution clearly says that is the purview of Congress
Right.
to
Yeah.
declare war,
So
not the
Right.
for
president.
right, so far we're concerned, it is a dictatorship. It's not they
Right.
want to make
And
a
he's
dictator.
trying to
He
kill
is
the
making all these
Constitution
decisions on his
on his
own.
own.
So that's my definition. I mean, the last I read, what's the name of that dictionary that I don't look at anymore. Once I
Webster.
Webster, last I
I
went
don't read
to
that anymore
Webster,
either. I don't either.
that said that's a dictatorship. So we can't, him and her around that. Otherwise, they'll think
No.
that they have us covered. And back to your idea about getting out in the street. Obviously, I take my hands off and head off to everybody who can do that. But it's not because they think we're going to be violent. We don't have to be
Right.
violent for them to be violent. And
Right.
that's what
Right.
they're
This
looking
is true.
for. Mhm.
And when they see us mobilizing,
Mhm.
that gives them the green light because a lot of times we don't have the coverage that they had in Martin Luther King's day, where all the media platforms getting CBS and ABC and Fox.
And the
Right.
government itself pretended there was a
Right.
pretense of equality.
Right,
There was a
right.
pretense of supporting you.
Right.
And but there's
But
no
at least it was-
pretense.
everybody
no,
saw it.
But I'm saying there's no pretense anymore from the
Right.
head.
Oh, yeah, they
so
don't
we
care.
have no coverage.
The coverage
Even
is
back
off.
in the day of Reagan and the rest of them, there was that pretense that the government would put a stop
cared,
to
right,
something.
yeah, right.
But there is no pretense.
There's
He-
no pretense
No,
anymore.
yeah,
It's
no.
in your face.
Yes,
your
it's
face.
in your face. It's in your face, right?
Mhm.
So we
You know?
got to do it no matter what. God is on our
I
side.
guess
We
that's
gotta
what
do
it is. We just got to do it in
We
spite of
gotta
it. We
do
cannot
it.
think in terms of, well, just because we're not violent, that we're not going to get slaughtered.
Listen,
You
mothers, when rally the mothers, because when you mess with their cubs, the men got to be rallied. Women
That's
mess
right.
with their cubs.
Yeah.
Because I'm on it.
That's right.
I'm on it for my grandkids. My kids are grown. I'm on it for my grandkids and
Right.
the generations that follow.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. Before I go, let me just put a plug in
Okay.
for my book.
Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. Yeah.
Lawrence Ham, A Life in the Struggle. If you haven't got it,
I want a
pick
signed
up your
copy.
copy.
Okay.
You want a signed copy? All right.
Absolutely.
I have it already, so you know, I
Absolutely.
wouldn't be yeah, very
But
interesting.
when we get
and
that program
informative.
set up in Union County, I'll bring a whole bunch of books and I'll sign them
Okay.
all.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, that
Okay.
sounds
So,
good.
so everybody can have one.
Keep us
Right.
informed.
But thank you for having me on. I
Always.
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
coming on. You
Anytime.
always bring the information
All
that we
the
need.
time. All
And
the time.
I watch y'all all the time as best I can. And what you're doing there in Newark, is there anything coming up over time? Well, you just named a whole list of
Yes,
things
a
that.
whole
Well, I
that
would
you-
say if I was going to name one thing
Mhm.
after the March on Washington on Friday, everybody try and come out to the forum at New Hope Baptist Church
Okay.
on Friday, September 11th,
Mhm.
7 o'clock p.m., New Hope Baptist Church,
Okay.
144 Norman Street in East Orange, New Jersey. Everybody
Okay.
come out to that.
Okay.
And if you come there, I'll have some books there.
Okay.
And then we can
Okay.
I'll sign some books there.
Give us a
Okay.
hint of what your
Uh,
for those who don't know. I've read it, but those who don't know, give us a hint of what your book is about.
Well, it's about
His word.
the life of one person
Right.
who was brought into the Black Liberation Movement
That's right.
as a very young man
Okay.
Yes.
at
You're
the age
still
of
young.
17. I wish, but
I was telling
I'm
sorry. I was
I'm
telling.
thankful though. I'm in relatively good shape.
Yes, you
for
are.
72 years
Praise
old.
God. Praise God.
Now
Going
you
on
just told-
73.
yeah, now you
Let me
just
tell
make
you
me tell
something.
my
Let me
age.
tell you something. I got my first pair of glasses in my life last week.
Okay. All right.
I never wore glasses before,
Look,
but
look at God. Look at
I
God.
had to get glasses after I was attacked by a dog
Uh huh.
Oh, wow.
when I was jogging in Brookdale Park in Bloomfield.
Mhm.
This dog ran up and attacked me from behind,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't see him coming, and he knocked me down. Now the dog bit
Wow.
me, but the injuries I got from the fall
Okay.
were worse than the actual dog bites. But I was in
Mm.
the hospital. I had to
Oh,
Oh.
get rabies
wow.
shots. I had this huge contusion on my head.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was when the contusion went down, the blood went down into my eye.
Oh,
Oh.
So my
wow.
lawyers, because there's gonna be a lawsuit. So
Okay.
my
I don't
Absolutely.
blame
lawyers
him.
sent me to the eye doctor,
Mm-hmm.
to see if there was any injury to my eye.
Right.
And in the process, they gave me the test. They said, Mr. Aaron, you gotta have some glasses.
Ah.
Wow.
So so I got my first pair of
First pair
glasses
of glasses.
last week, and I'm a grandfather now. I have two
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
congrats,
grandsons.
congrats,
congratulations.
congrats.
And
Thank
Brother
you.
Ham, I was
Yes.
telling my engineer I knew you when you were 16. See that how that date
Was
me?
16 years,
I
Lord
was
have mercy.
working.
That's
I was
56 years ago.
I was working in Newark, New Jersey, a little young thing at the law office, and I remember when you was promoted or appointed the
To the Board of
youngest
Education.
board of
Hmm.
education member in the entire country, and we were
Yep.
so excited about it. But I was a youngster then. But I remember when you were just a baby. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Real
Yep.
quick, I want to ask you something. I
Yes.
joined. I joined recently the New Jersey Social Justice in Newark.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
though I know Hager just left. We
Right.
just left Hager, but there's a new guy, Patel. Is there anything that you're affiliated with them? I know the mayor's
Oh yeah,
affiliated.
we
That could
work
help
closely. No,
with the
no, we
struggle.
work closely.
Okay, good.
We've always worked with the New Jersey Institute for Social Justice.
Oh,
We
okay,
work
good.
closely with them, and we will continue to work closely
Okay,
with them. In
good.
fact, we're working with them on the issue of reparations.
Okay, good.
Okay.
We worked with them on the issue of getting the John Lewis Voter
Oh yes,
Empowerment
yes,
Act of New
yes,
Jersey
yes,
passed.
yes. Get
Yeah.
him back.
We're working with them on getting police review boards with subpoena power. So
Hmm.
we're working with them on a number of issues. It's a good organization.
Yes,
I urge people to support
yeah.
NJISJ, New
I
Jersey
just
Institute for
started.
Social
Yeah.
Justice.
Hmm.
You
Okay,
know,
all right. We are going to cut you there because
all
time is
Thank
right.
you.
winding down. It's
Thank you so
always
much.
exciting to have you
Yes,
here. You
yes,
bring such knowledge. We're
yes,
going to have
All
you
right.
again, obviously, and much luck and much grace
yes,
on your trip to
yes.
Washington. We're
Prayers
going to
for
be
you.
praying for you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And
Thank
for
you.
those of you, my villagers, we just you continue to support us. We appreciate it. And for those of you who I didn't get a chance to holler out to, believe me, we know that you are with us because we
Yes,
feel it,
yes,
and
yes.
we need it. So y'all keep watching out for. Check me out. Check RubyShivers.com. Go to my website. I'm doing a whole lot of things, and I want y'all to be right there with me. God bless you, and we'll
Yes.
see you
God
next
bless
Sunday.
you.
Bless you.
All right. Take care. Bye
Take
bye.
care. Bye bye.
Godspeed.